What is up, guys? It's your boy Rick Gakis, and today we are going to be showcasing the exotic catalyst for the third iteration exotic scout rifle, which has been one of the most used, and let's be honest here, one of the most overpowered weapons in Destiny 2 since it was added within the Season Reclamation Seasons Pass alongside the release of the Edge of Fate expansion. How much better does the catalyst make this weapon? Well, let's get started. Now, first of all, guys, we have to talk about the elephant in the room. Like I said, this weapon was literally overpowered. It had an interaction with anti-barrier scout rifle in your seasonal artifact, and if you had that on, it was just doing an insane amount of damage. So much that Bungie had to disable it for the Desert Perpetual Raid contest mode, and on normal mode, I mean, it was taking down raid bosses. This thing was doing more damage than heavy weapons. And then yesterday, it did catch the nerf. As you can see right here, they fixed an issue where the third iteration was doing more damage when used alongside the anti-barrier scout rifle perk. Note, charged amalgamation rounds were not affected by this bug, and their damage was unchanged. So what this means is that the initial charge up shot to mark the target still hits like an absolute truck. It's the follow-up shots that would do insane damage that has been brought down. So is the third iteration still good after this nerf? Well, we'll get to that, but let's talk about the catalyst first. So, how do you get it? Well, as you can see right here, it drops from all the way up at level 90 of the current Reclamation Seasons Pass, or I should say Rewards Pass. And because this pass isn't split up between different acts like we had with episodes, it's technically available right now. If you're playing normally, it is going to take a good bit of grinding, or you can do what I did and just buy the ranks with silver. Hashtag Bungie creator. They sent me a bunch of silver, guys, and I've just been using it to make more videos. So a little shameful, I'm not gonna lie. But hey, now you get to watch the video early. So essentially, that's how you're gonna grab it. Once you do get it, it's the same thing as always. You will have to get a ton of kills with the third iteration to actually be able to equip this catalyst. So we're back in Shirochi. That's right, Bungie changed like 70% of the entire game of Destiny 2 with the launch of the Edge of Fate, but I'm still grinding Shirochi for catalysts in the year of our Lord 2025, guys. But that aside, when you do get enough kills, you can equip it, and here's what it does. Precision final blows with amalgamation rounds cause the targets to detonate into a weakening blast. This is actually really interesting because it actually makes the strongest point of this weapon after the nerf even better. And it kind of makes it so that there's now still a reason to use the third iteration after the nerf. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, first of all, let's quickly go over exactly what the third iteration does here. Intrinsically, it has Triplanar Mass Driver, fires a spread of void projectiles, and you ADS to tighten the spread. Then it has the modified heatsink, where it slowly reloads over time, and then pressing reload will cause it to vent and then build up its magazine. It doesn't have a traditional reload. And then you have amalgamation rounds. This is the important one. Aiming down sights for a short period without firing compresses the spread into a single high-density projectile. Damaging the target with the shot marks them. This weapon deals additional damage to marked targets. Defeating a marked target or landing a precision final blow with your amalgamation round grants invisibility and true sight. So guys, importantly, when you hit with that first amalgamation round, you will see the target is highlighted like they turn red, and then you will be doing bonus damage with follow-up shots. And this gameplay loop was most affected by the nerf, where you would just mark a target and then lay into them with the entire rest of your magazine. You're now going to be doing nowhere near as much damage, but you are still going to be dealing significant bonus damage with follow-up shots. Now remember, guys, the mark is only going to boost the damage of the third iteration. You can't mark a target for your teammate to shoot with something else. But that's where the weaken comes into play. as the patch notes said, guys, that first initial shot, that amalgamation round, is still absolutely cranking. And you can see in the background gameplay, I took the third iteration after the nerf into the mythic difficulty campaign missions. And it's still a good weapon. You're using it a bit differently, like you're not marking a big yellow bar boss and laying into them. Rather, you're using this to absolutely crank red bars and ads and still the bigger guys. But the gameplay loop is, instead of marking and then laying into, you might, take out a red bar and then move on to the next one, move on to the next one. Or you hit with that huge amalgamation round and then you wait for another amalgamation round to hit again. And then you keep drilling those massively powerful amalgamation rounds into a target. Or you just have amalgamation round, a few follow-ups, and then switch to another weapon. So let's be clear here. Post-nerf, the third iteration still out-damages most primary weapons, even exotic primary weapons in the game. Your burst damage potential is still insane with that amalgamation round. And then the catalyst will give you another way to improve the damage of not just this weapon, but your other weapons and your teammates as well. Because whereas the marking from amalgamation rounds is only for the third iteration, the weaken effect is just a blast of the actual weaken keyword. So as you can see right here, guys, my multi-mac is doing 26 damage to this target. I then get the weakening blast off from killing a guy nearby, and now I'm doing 30 damage. So this will also apply to the third iteration itself. As you can see right here, again, I'm in the firing range. When I hit this big Cabal guy with the amalgamation round, my follow-up shots are consistently dealing around 251 damage, and then when I kill this guy and get the weakening effect on the other nearby Cabal, now my follow-up shots are consistently dealing around 288 damage. So again, the weaken effect improves the damage on top of the amalgamation marked target effect. So overall, again, if you get that amalgamation kill, you spread that weaken effect, you are still following up with an insane amount of burst DPS. But it also just makes this weapon significantly better at ad clearing because, not only does just making a bunch of nearby ads weakened help you kill them with anything, right? And the effect of this weakening blast is actually pretty big. Like, enemies pretty far away are going to suddenly get weakened, but if enemies are grouped together, as you can see, the actual explosion does damage. You turn this weapon into an ad-clearing monster because it's like you're putting on explosive payload for that one shot. In fact, better than explosive payload. Like, again, you can see I kill one red bar and any nearby red bar also dies. Now, admittedly, there is a bit of a downside. It does require some setup, right? Like, you will have to aim down sights for a while to get amalgamation rounds. You have to line up that final blow and all of that. But if you do pull off that final blow, and remember, you can hit an enemy twice or 3 times or however many times with amalgamation rounds, right? Like, just the final blow needs to be with amalgamation rounds to trigger the weakening explosion and true sight and all that other stuff. But then, exactly, when you do get that initial kill, you go invisible. You get true sight. It is the easiest weapon to be chaining, again, especially when you have these weakening blasts, because you get that kill, you go invisible, and now it's even easier to get follow-up amalgamation round kills on a bunch of weakened targets nearby. So you are now going from where this weapon was once, just shove it in the face of a yellow bar, get that first shot, and just dump all the rest of the rounds, to now you are just picking off targets one after another, causing weakening, causing you to go invisible. You are in insane safety. I think it's still one of the best weapons in the game for those higher level mythic difficulty content pieces on Kepler, just because of, again, how easy it is to go from chaining, all while invisible, right? And then later on, once you've killed all the ads, you can deal with the yellow bar with, maybe something else. Or again, you can still just amalgamation round, shoot, amalgamation round, shoot. Like, you're still going to be absolutely cranking with that amalgamation round, guys. So overall, this weapon is still good, and man, the catalyst does actually help in its new, like, post-nerf role. Like, the catalyst, honestly, is making this weapon still very viable post-nerf by providing that other source of increased damage after it lost a lot of its damage, right? So, guys, that is it for the video. Hope you enjoyed and found this informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus. That is linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.